Hello viewers, Anahor of Odyssey here, and I am joined by...
Mitchell,
Tesseract,
Dreadwolf,
Sun Alex,
Flying Fury, and Avibot.
Basically the point of this video, we're ramping down from 2013 and looking to 2014. Usually we get together and discuss a few points, pros and cons of the year past, figure out what we're going to do for the future and reflect on these points. We thought we'd record and share it with you. We know some people have an interest about how we operate, so we thought we'd do that today. Mitch, if you want to kick us off.
yeah, one of the pros that we've done this year is the YouTube channel was kicked off. We've got over 7,000 subscribers, like 1.1 million views.
Yay!
Got like nearly just over 300 plus videos, and that's not bad considering we've only been going for like nearly 2 years. Some of the popular videos that we've pumped out is cribs, test server stuff, and obviously the guides. Obviously we need to continue with all the commentary stuff that we've been doing. That seems to be popular. Make sure we carry that on.
Yeah, the Nostalgia Raid guys was definitely a big hit.
Oh yeah.
we certainly do take all your feedback which you leave in the comments, and we do try and build on all the positive and negatives that you leave on our videos.
Yeah, so some stuff we need to work on is the consistency within the videos, and obviously keep on putting them up there, a bit more frequency in that, and carry on with that. Social media, we need to get a bit more involved in that and interacting a bit more, possibly move into streaming. I know we've tried that and done quite a bit of that, and that seemed to go well.
It's always fun to see the feedback live, so to speak. Think about the Twitch shows that Sen's been leading.
Yeah, I mean, great shout out to Senelex. He's really spearheaded the recent drive on the Twitter and Facebook and live streaming. It's a gradual process. Obviously, once you get more exposure, you get more viewers and subscribers and so forth, and that's really ramped up recently. I hope to maintain that.
It's going to be great. Any chance to interact with the community directly, especially with like a live stream, is always a bonus. I think it's really good to have a chance to speak to people directly.
leading on from that,
Unfiltered.
one of the pros I'd say for this year is the events that we've been running now. We've always run events within the league, and we've been continued with that, but this year we've really kind of stepped up in the events that we've been running for the community. So we've just had our second year of Spirit of the Season, which we started last year, and that's kind of gone from strength to strength. Really, we've reached out to the villain side and got them to help participate with that as well. But Flame Fury was spearheading something himself as well. He went and set up the server events committee for the EU PC, which we'd never had before. I think he used the smallest server in the game, and we lacked any kind of big committee of leagues that would run events and things. So that's been had 2 events so far, and it's just, you know, building on that. We've had a lot of people participate, a lot of people say that they want to help run it, offering prizes for it, and obviously people taking part, so that's gone really well.
And on the villain side as well, there's also the Secret Society, which does the same sort of thing. They're 2 exclusive committees, but we have been working together so that any future events will be open to heroes and villains, so that the whole of the community is represented. So big shout out to the Secret Society and Duranga. Got to mention Duranga.
So on the downside of all this, it's really highlighted that there is very little in-game for helping to manage such events. With the Spirit of the Season, it obviously went on on over 12 days, and we had different people helping out on different days, and all of that was managed entirely on our own websites, and there was just nothing in-game there's no way of getting people to sign up to things, there's no way to even make notes on people, so kind of league management tools and any kind of event management or calendars or anything like that, the game just sorely lacks at the moment.
Definitely.
Yeah, there's various options for us outside of the game. You've got your league websites with calendars and stuff that you can utilise, but in-game it's really lacking that kind of detail for organising events and things. As was mentioned, you've got the hero side and you've got the villain side working in tandem on events, but you've got very little way to communicate between the two outside of a custom channel, which has to be joined by the player.
Yeah, you can't even send them a tell.
No, there's no cross-faction communication really apart from a custom channel. Makes things quite difficult when you're in the planning phase.
Yeah, I mean, we're really fortunate that the heroes and the villains that talking are able to go into each other's team speaks and get the channels of communication established, but in game very little.
And it's also hard to reach the people that we're inviting to these events. As Mitch has said, we're looking to expand our own social media and things like that, but it's hard for us to put out a message to the entire server saying, look, we're having this event, if you're interested, come over. I mean, they've added a few chat channels which have been really good, trade chat, and they're looking for group chat. But even still, these are only hitting, the faction side that you're on.
But my pro for the year would definitely be the quality and consistency of the content that's been released in 2013. I mean, as Mitch said, we got the basis that we made our Cribs videos that was released this year. We had some great updates and DLCs. We had the graphic changes, the new awesome power sets. It really feels like the devs are listening.
They snuck those power sets on us, though. We didn't know about those until like a month before Origin Crisis came out. We had no idea power sets were coming out.
I was not disappointed at the ability to throw skulls.
Oops.
Flames just got out.
Flame.
Never mind.
Are you wrecking my base again?
Sorry.
I'll never invite you to my cave again.
Leading on from the power sets as well, there've been quite a few revamps of existing power sets, and they've been, speaking from the nature point of view, awesome.
Although the nature's come out pretty awesome. Don't get me wrong. I mean, it's made me want to switch back from Celestial to a bit. But I wish I wish they could have changed some of the appearances. The bug form is still hideous. It just is.
Well, didn't they change so you can at least fly fast now?
They did make the speed changes on it, which I really, really like. But it's still hideous. I mean, why does my cute little girl turn into a giant dude?
A giant bug dude.
Looks like they've been playing around with teleporters, maybe caught a fly in a teleporter.
Yeah.
That's what it reminds me of.
They've come out and said though that they are listening to everyone, and they're working on actual gameplay content and improving that and making it a better experience, so that maybe some of the cosmetic changes are going to have to take a back seat while other things are put into place and improved.
I know that they do have some cosmetic plans in the future because they're changing a bunch of stuff regarding sorcery, so fingers crossed the bug gets a boot.
Give the bug the boot. Yeah, and speaking of base and stuff like that, I'm still missing the Halls of Power. I mean, league content in general. The league features, the league management stuff like that. That's one thing that I'm really missing.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with that. There's so much that could be done with leagues. It's just really taken a long time to make being in a league feel like being in a league. So you got your group of players, you can all play together, message each other, but it doesn't feel like you can work together as a big unit to achieve a goal.
Yeah, most of that's handled via the website or league chat.
Yeah, but like to just get involved in some big cataclysmic event as a whole team, that would really be the cream on top for me.
Particularly, we've seen other MMOs putting out content like that. We've had some members play Guild Wars 2 this year, and that's been something that they've had in that MMO is real guild events that everybody takes part in, and they were really interesting how they were run, and there's just nothing like it in DC. That the only large people content you get are the raids.
Yeah, it'd be nice to even just have a case of we have a league base and we all have to do missions to find furniture for the base so we can decorate it. Just something that we could all work together on. That isn't just someone's personal crib.
Or maybe being able to mount Darkseid's head on the wall after you defeat him in the future at some point.
Very
Some
cool.
trophies like that.
A few statues of ourselves.
Dipping back into the content in the game, Origin Crisis, what was released earlier this year, it really it really divided opinions on it. You know, it had the really difficult content that leagues such as ourselves been craving for, and despite some of the faults in the raids, that has been really good, challenging content, and it was actually a really good honour when we found out that a feat in the game would be named after our league. We're quite humbled by that, definitely.
Yeah, that was definitely a special moment when we found out about that.
Yeah, I mean, this makes you feel really proud that you can influence a gamer community to that extent that they're willing to name something after you, so you're immortalised, so to speak.
Only, and it wasn't just an easy feat to get. It was a feat that required a lot of work, not only by us, but you know, a lot of leagues. You had leagues on the US side as well that put an awful lot of time working towards getting this achievement and this feat. So it was really good to do. It was really good that there was something in game which took months and months to work towards and to achieve. I guess the only drawback to that, the only downside, is that it became quite obvious, not only in our league but in the community as a whole, the skill disparity between the players. You know, people really had to up their game. People who perhaps were more of the casual player had a bit more hard time doing it. And it did require people to up their game and really focus. Sometimes had to actually relearn how to play the game to some aspects of it. Yeah, I think the Origin Crisis DLC, the developers did learn a lot about stuff with regards to kind of how loot gets given out and that, and they took on an awful lot of feedback from the community about that to try and correct those problems in future content. And even themselves, you know, devs have realised their mistake. You know, they have realised perhaps that they have made it a bit too hard for some players, and it's in a way, you know, 6-7 months down the line, they've actually then reduced the difficulty of the content, and I would have liked to have seen that release. It was nice to have the hard content, and perhaps as the content gets older, that they have made the stuff what was quite hard a bit more easier for other players. So they are starting to strike a balance, I think.
I mean, we've said this for a while. They need to bring out easy and normal, or normal and hard, whatever they want to do, just so that everyone is happy.
Yeah, it's
one of the things that
sorry, go on, Tess.
No, I was just going to say that one of the things that's frustrated me about the criticisms on Origin Crisis, and there are some valid criticisms, but people seem to be getting a lot of it confused. I mean, the issues with the loot system were And that one's fair enough. I mean, the changes that they made to the loot system, the individual loots helped, but it doesn't actually address the main problem with it, which is that for the most people running these raids, they're going to have anything they need from it before they actually bother to run it. Particularly with Nexus at the moment, you're very unlikely to get any decent drops there except from the last boss. That is definitely an issue with these raids, but the difficulty of the raids is not an issue.
Certainly not an issue for players like us, and you know, I think sometimes it's quite easy for us to sit here and take a selfish point of view that we want difficult, harder content all the time, and I guess the devs are in a difficult position where they do need to cater to everything, and as Mitchell said, having novice and normal versions of content upon release, I think would solve a lot of those problems.
I just like to mention, I just remember this last night, speaking about the Epic Odyssey feed, we had a fun idea. Sen was in the group playing, and well, most of us, not Rob and Baz, Agberg wasn't in the group. We decided to right before we downed the tyrant, we had two people that were already locked leave the group, and sent a message in looking group. The first two people to queue will get not Epic Odyssey feed. It was a really fun thing to do.
Quite amusing.
We got two people in. One didn't even know English. I don't think he knew what he was queuing for, but he got in and got the Epic Odyssey feed.
They got some nice gear as well.
I think one actually.
I think one of them got 4 pieces that they could use, didn't they?
Yeah, one.
Well, that's a pretty big Christmas present.
Yeah.
Sorry, Tess, your spirit of the season has just been blown out of the water.
That's okay, I was one of the people that left, so...
that was actually her... it was you and Mitchell that left, was it?
Yep.
Yeah.
That was your present.
DLC 7 till the cows come home, but if we move on, Flame Fury.
Yeah, this year we've had a lot more exposure in DCUO. When was it? Early on in the year in April, we were invited onto FNL to show what we could do. I can't even remember that far back, to be honest, but I'm sure we did okay.
The complaint was that we were doing the raid, but we had to get a 9th member in, so we were cheating.
Oh yeah. I think they went into God mode, didn't they? No, we didn't know anything about it really at the time, did we? We didn't know what was going on. It was all new to us as well. Then later on in the year, we were involved in the E3 live stream with Brothers in Arms and Family Reunion. I was a part of that as well. Very enjoyable. Yes, my claim to fame is that I took Batman down before Catwoman could get involved in the fight. So it made me look quite OP. I was nature at the time, and I think I was just spamming the finishing move in nature. Then leading on to this month, we had Spittle and Meps themselves on our podcast, The Lockbox, and they came on to give us some exclusive details about DLC 9, The War of the Light.
And my God, can Spittle talk?
He can, yeah, you can't shut him up. Just wind him up and let him go. I did feel really sorry for Meps because he didn't really get a word in edgeways, but we did manage to get some stuff out of him. But,
I'm sure he's just it.
Yeah, it was really nice though, being able to speak to them directly, and they were very candid with us and very open. They gave us loads of information, and this went down really well with the community. The response we got to that interview from the community on our YouTube channel and on the official forums was absolutely amazing. It was very humbling as well to hear and read, listen to some of the things that were said about the interview. It was great. But we hopefully do look forward to having them on the show again at some point in the future. Maybe awesome. Give us some more juicy details about the future of DCUO.
Yeah, you just need to try and convince them to come on just before something important happens, so we can find out early. Yeah,
it's much for us as well, because we want to know as much about what's coming up as you do. So it's a little way of us being able to squeeze some more information out of them.
Because it's not like Spittle can keep a secret, is it?
Can we say this? Can we say this?
Can't say this, but I'm going to say it anyway.
But I'd like to point out as well, as much as we would like to claim that we can influence the content that the devs come up with, or if in fact people do think that they're always listening explicitly to us, it's just not the case. The devs, I think, are always listening to the community as a whole, and they're always trying to address people's concerns. And I know that Meps is really good at that. He's always coming up on the forums and chiming in where things need to be set straight and stuff. But I think it's a common misconception that we've got a direct line to them, and if we say stuff, it happens in game. But it's really not the case. We have been honoured to have some really good opportunities with them, but we're as much a part of the community as you are. We can only.
I wish we could influence the devs.
Yeah. I wish we could say, don't do this, don't do that, or please do this, please do that. But
if we could influence the devs, I would have my shadow powers out in no time.
Yeah.
I just remember being a bit perplexed. Must have been like 6 months ago, maybe even a year back, when somebody in the forums said that, oh, the devs always listen to what Odyssey says, and I just fell over in hysterics, because at the time we'd been trying for almost a year to get them to fix the EU economy after they broke it with the merits, and we'd had this 35-page thread where we were just basically saying, look, this just doesn't make sense, what you're doing, and they took like 9 months to fix it, or a year to fix it, or something ridiculous. And then there's these people in the forums say, oh, the devs always listen to Odyssey. Well, no, we'd love it if they did, but sadly no.
Ivy Bird, if you want to take us through your thoughts.
Well, I've interjected in pretty much everyone else's here, but on a thing that I thought was pretty epic this year was the ProSiebens tournaments and how they've been working with the community. I mean, the PvP Legends tournament they did, with the final prize being a trip to SW Live, which was mind-blowingly amazing as a present. Yeah. It was quite disappointing in that how few people actually signed up for it. I mean, I partnered up with Cosmico and we took part, and the numbers of people in the tournament it was only like there was 12 teams. I mean, come on guys, this is a trip to Vegas.
Yeah, so once in a lifetime chance.
Why can
unless you've been there before, that is.
It's once in a lifetime chance to go for free, and they're giving you spending money. But I just can't believe the lack of public interest. I mean, I'd still like to think I would have got as far in the tournament if more people had entered, but I can't say that it hurt my chances that hardly anyone entered, but it would have been nice, you know?
Why do you think not as many people entered for that? Because, I mean, it was a massive prize.
I'm not sure, I mean...
Was it due to lack of advertising? Or?
I think it was a lack of advertising. I mean, they put up... It was on the launcher that there was a PvP tournament, but the prize wasn't listed. And so you'd have to click on your link on the launcher, go to their website, and then read it on there. And I think people just weren't paying attention. And with the amount of negativity that ProSieben has received, because there was a lot of mess-ups at the start of the switch over, people weren't willing to give them the time to look.
That tournament was the first good thing to come out of ProSieben. I mean, I certainly paid no attention until that point, and I didn't have them on Facebook or anything like that. There was absolutely no need to. They were nothing more than a pain in our sides until that tournament.
Yeah, and they knocked that one right out the park. Like,
yeah, that put them on the map a little bit. But as you say, there wasn't as many people that paid attention to them at the time because they'd done nothing for the game. And on top of that, I mean, I know that I myself didn't enter because I knew I had no hope of winning. I mean, obviously, Ivy and Cos would be probably one of a handful of people in the league that I think would have, gone to the finals, and I would not be one of those people. So yeah, I could have entered, but it wouldn't have got me very far. And I think that's kind of representative of the size, of, again, of the EUPC servers, that there's just not a huge number of people playing.
I think something like that should be remedied, though. I think that's a bit of a fault on ourselves. Like, we shouldn't have that attitude, like, oh, we shouldn't enter because we're not going to get anything from it. We're not going to win. We should perhaps make the effort to enter. You know, take a stance, lead the way, kind of thing, to say, you know, to help the community. And a big congratulations to Animate Esports, who did go on to win the tournament.
Yeah, they effectively schooled me in the final.
Ivy and Cause, this is how it's done.
Yeah, I wish I could have done a bit better, but
in our defence, they effectively schooled the winners of the American tournament as well.
yes.
Damn right.
So what me and Cause need to have a Legends match versus the winners of theirs, so we can decide out of the four of us, which is the second best in the world.
But yeah, I think even moving on from that tournament, ProSieben has been making more efforts to get involved with the community, and we've had a lot more contact with them. They helped advertise the Spirit of the Season event, and they're just reaching out to players. They're trying to set up more events. They're just trying to be more active in the community and take more part, which is really good to see.
Agreed.
What a year, though.
And then finally myself, what I noted down as a pro was that the league itself, we do have a great community feel. We're always on TeamSpeak, even if we're not playing DC, we're on TeamSpeak and on the forums doing various projects, and playing other games together.
We love each other.
Maybe too much.
And we had an Odyssey meetup this year as well, so how
I
many
missed that.
10, 12 of us
Stuff like that.
got together in London.
Co-weekend.
Let's not do that again.
Which is not too bad, the numbers, considering how short notice the planning was on it as well.
Yeah, it was always something we discussed on TeamSpeak, but it
And then
never
just-
got any traction, and then, so I
and then
thought, you know what,
suddenly,
let's
1 month
throw
we're
it up
gone.
there. Yeah, exactly. Throw it up there. Let's see who responds, who can do it. And
Didn't the date change a couple of times as well though?
Yeah.
There was a narrowing down process.
It's always difficult to try and get that many people
Definitely.
in a location at a certain date, because everyone has, you know, their own thing to do. So it goes back and forth. We narrow it down.
I say we make a date for the next one, starting soon, and we decide in the new year when it's going to be, and then everyone's got the whole year.
It's going to be Vegas for SOE Live. If we can save up the cash.
I know that.
Right, so when I win the lottery, I'll take these all. But till then,
Awesome
Right,
stuff.
we've got that as a verbal agreement, which is totally legally binding in Scotland, by the way. So
yes, I know it's totally legal binding in Scotland. That's why there's so many call centres in Scotland. So there.
I mean, one of the positives to come out of that meetup, I think, was that it was categorically proven that Tesseract is actually a woman. I know there was a lot of debate before. People
there
questioned
was only
it,
one
that-
person whose sex was totally confirmed at that point, and it's best not to talk about that.
The meetup was a great experience, so I can't wait for the next one.
And so off the back of that, something we can definitely work on is giving our members, players, more opportunity to be involved and contribute to how the league decides things, or how it's run, or videos we do and things like that. And you know, various options have been presented. For example, Senlex has recently devised the Google Drive, so members can produce videos, upload it to there, and we put it on the channel. So that's definitely in the works. But that's where we fell short this year. I think the opportunities within the league.
I think we started to better that on the later part of the year, having the members take more part in the decision making as well.
And that concludes our pros and cons, our feedback, our thoughts. And we obviously be remiss if we didn't talk about what we plan for the future. We're going strong. It's been, what, almost 3 years now since we've been in operation in one form or another.
Yep.
So you heard us talk about our pros and our cons, and obviously that's all notes that we've taken down, stuff to work on, converse about it. But just to give you an idea, so we've got for the next DLCs that are due to come out, we've started devising what we call roadmaps for video content. So where we talk about the styles, the feats, the powers themselves, and showcase those at you know, the highest level that we possibly can. Get people involved in that, watching it, giving feedback on that respect.
We call them roadmaps because Anher's quite anal like that.
Sedalex has been working on a project. If you want to give us some details on that.
Yep. I won't go into too much depth, as you will hear more in the coming weeks. But we've been developing a new website. One thing that we lacked with our existing website, it was a bit outdated, and there wasn't really much interaction where you guys could actually come on our website and interact with us and take part in discussions in our forums. So we'll remedy in that. We've got a new website that'll be launching soon-ish. TM. But yeah, more details of that will be released in the coming weeks. But it's a better platform for you to be able to interact more with us, and for us to interact more with you guys. So we'll keep it posted.
So remember, the keyword is interact.
And soon.
TM.
And obviously there's other things in the pipeline, so server events. We do this thing called Riddle Hunt, which has been planned. It's I think we're on to number 4. It's been planned for the league only, but we're looking to expand that and invite other friends and outsiders from the league to join in for that. More details to come as we get that new website done. Projects, so the lockbox is going strong. Sorry, it's going from strength to strength. Expect more of that. Anyone else have anything they want to throw in there?
I think just to look back at the, as Mitch said earlier, just looking at what we've had successful.
I think you broke up a bit there, Tess. Am I saying that again?
Sorry, we've had, just looking at what our successful YouTube videos have been, our commentaries, our test server videos, and obviously looking at producing more of those. Recently branched out into the machinima style videos as well, see if we can get a couple more of those done. That sort of thing.
Hopefully a few more power set guides.
Yeah, I think
guides.
Speaking of the machinima videos though, I think everyone's clamouring for what was happening at the other side of the one you did, the team versus someone in the Nexus. So that's going to be an interesting one to try and film. Good luck with that.
No, we're not doing that.
I really hope they fix the zoom in there for the characters so we can start filming one first-person shots again, so Senlix can finish his debut of DCUO.
Yeah.
I was really looking forward to that, and then suddenly, oh wait, no, gotta cancel it.
Yeah, I was just playing it up and then they changed it. Oh well. People are patient, I guess.
And that concludes our discussion. Well, that's been enlightening for you. As I said, it's just something we do on a yearly basis, a roundup. Record it this time round to put out there because people seem to have an interest in how we operate.
Feel free to put your pros and cons of the years in the on below the video.
Comment section.
The comment section. That's the magic word. Because we'd be quite interested to see what whether you match up with us or whether you get things we've forgotten.
Thanks for listening.
Yeah, that's all from us. Thank you for listening.
Thank you very much, guys.
Bye.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
Bye.